comics are stupid.
No Harry Potter movie is good.
And you're like, give me the Snyder Cut. Oh, sorry, just walk in front of you here. Gonna put my popcorn down. Oh, sorry, gotta put this here.
Universal needs to sue Sony.
Hey, I'm an idiot. I was fired from Fox. Let me go.
I'd like actually to see Venom just crush Spider-Man.
Hello everyone, so I'm back today and I'm here to review the next episode, I guess, of WandaVision, which is episode 3. I don't know what it's called, but, it's called episode 3 in my mind. So actually, I've really been enjoying these episodes, and I think that the even better part is that there's something to, speculate about. It's just, this happened, and then this happened, and this person died. There's actual interest and suspense and speculation, and, it's really good because they make you wait a week, right? So then you're like, oh no, what's going to happen next? And it makes you talk about it, which gets more people to watch it, which is smart business-wise. Now, let's talk about this show. So we got our first for sure look. I don't know if she was in the last episodes, but we got our first official look at some of the mysteries unfolded. We got to look at the children, and we also got to see the birth of Wiccan, which is awesome. And we also got to see the birth of Speed. So yeah, we literally just got to see the birth of Speed and Wiccan. Because of course, Billy and Tommy, Speed and Wiccan. We also got to see the first look at the girl from Captain Marvel, and who's clearly a part of S.W.O.R.D. in case we didn't know that from before. And her name, of course, was, who was it? Why can I not remember this? Hold on, it'll come to me. Just hang in there. Monica Rambeau, that's the one. And so we got to see her when she actually helped Wanda deliver the babies, and then she kind of talked about how, that's what she did. She helped Wanda deliver the babies, and then she just kind of got kicked out of the world, and then we saw the police kind of pounce on her. So it really makes you think, right? Like, my initial idea was, well, if maybe this isn't her creation fully, and maybe instead this is something more of a prison, right? Because you see some sort of military as soon as the S.W.O.R.D. agent Monica Rambeau actually gets kicked out of this world by Wanda, or assumably by Wanda, although it is interesting they cut away from that before we could actually see if Wanda was the one to kick her out, because then she just said she went home. So maybe it was like, the beekeeper person, we don't know if that's AIM or Hydra or whatever, but maybe it was that person who kicked her out and then wiped Wanda's memory. And we also got to see again when Vision was figuring out something suspicious was going on. Assuming it was Wanda who kind of erased his memory, but again, may not have been, and maybe it was something we didn't see, which would be really interesting. If this was maybe more of a prison to kind of keep her sane, because if they let her out into the real world, she would go insane and she would use her powers and destroy the world, right? Because it looks like it's a prison almost, and so I think that would be a really interesting spin on it as well. She's essentially created her own prison, and they're kind of holding her there, and S.W.O.R.D. is an agency that's trying to essentially help her escape this prison, and actually help her rather than just kind of put your problem away. And I think it would be a commentary almost on mental health as well, in a sense. And so I think, and knowing Marvel, that's something they would obviously think about and attempt to do. And so I think that's very interesting from that perspective. I also think that we're really getting to see that this will be a kind of 3-story arc in a sense, kind of like how the S.H.I.E.L.D. episodes did. And I guess they didn't do 3 episodes, but they did a few episodes, and they did multiple little arcs. So I think it'll kind of be like that, because you're getting kind of like chapters in a sense, right? You've got the first 3 which are setting up the mystery. Now these next 3 will kind of be solving the mystery, and then the last 3 will be kind of conclusion, wrap up, and kind of making showing what the implications are, not only because we know Doctor Strange 2 will have implications from this, but also the MCU as a whole in these characters, and where they stand in the world, right? You'll get your final kind of action scene, and when they're back in the real world. And I also love how the aspect ratio changes, and it widens obviously when they go back to the real world, just to kind of show the difference. But yeah, I mean, and you also get to see the neighbors again. It was interesting though because Angus, the neighbor, the woman neighbor, was very interesting. I don't know. I just felt like she seemed to know something because remember when she was telling the other guy, I don't remember his name, but when he was telling them whatever he told them, and it was cool that they're kind of like realizing what's going on. And I wonder maybe we're going to see a full reboot of the simulation in a sense come next episode, right? If it is indeed a prison, you don't obviously. In the Truman Show, actually, was the thing that kind of came to my mind while watching this. Was this feels like the Truman Show in a sense, where people kind of like how the doctor couldn't go on his vacation because his car wouldn't work. Coincidentally, almost like you can't really go out of this town because there isn't anything. It's like that's like what happened in the Truman Show, right? Truman kept saying, "I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna leave," and then he was never actually able to leave. And so I think that's kind of something which I think we're gonna see essentially is this being a Truman Show style prison, which would be really cool to see. But yeah, I mean, it was a really awesome episode, and I can't wait to see what they do next. I'm really excited. So let me know what your thoughts on the episode were. Do you like this? Is this confusing? Or, do you kind of have this? Like, does this make sense? Let me know down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share your thoughts, and of course, see you next time. Bye.